how to launch your online coaching business A to Z. Like, this is the most important things that you need to know. I am qualified to teach this, by the way, because I failed miserably when I started out. Made $0 for the first 16 months when I launched my fitness coaching business in 2019. All right, so $0 for 16 months. Obviously, that makes me qualified. The real part that makes me qualified is at this point, 16 months in, actually wised up, learned a lot of things, and basically grew that business from 0 to over 100K a month. Now this business runs without me. It's still scaling. But yeah, I really had this wake up call. My uncle basically said, "Hey man, that's not a business, it's a hobby." And I was quite frustrated, quite pissed off because it was reality, but it made me wise up. So I'm incredibly thankful for that. Anyways, with that said, welcome to my amazing studio here. Obviously very luxury, expensive. Took a lot of money to put this filming studio together, so I'm glad you enjoy it. But anyways, let's jump in. We're going to go over 3 things you need to do when you're launching your online coaching business. Will significantly help you accelerate your rate of progress and also your probability that you succeed. All right, so if you want to go from 10K a month is like the most common goal people have when they're starting out. So if you want to hit that, this will obviously help you get there, but also get to 20, 30, 40K a month pretty easily. This won't go over the advanced stuff in terms of how to actually scale to 100K a month. We're going to go over the basic stuff in terms of the necessities you need to have to hit those smaller marks. So first point, let me take a sip of coffee real quick. Sorry, I got to build some suspense in here. First one is when you're starting out. All right. When you're at 0, you have this huge advantage that you don't even realize. It's the advantage is that you have nothing to lose, like literally nothing. So if you fail, if you quote unquote fail in the business or you lose money in the business or whatever, you're in the exact same spot that you're in right now. So if that's the case, like if literally nothing about your life changes, if you're in the exact same spot, there's actually no risk. You actually remove the risk by having nothing to lose. I have it differently nowadays. I do have things to lose technically. And so it's a different place. It's a different advantages and different disadvantage that I have compared to someone starting out. All right. But when I was starting out, I didn't realize this until a while in. I was like, oh, well, I have $2,000 in my bank account. I don't have a house. I don't have anything. I don't really have risk. I'm literally in the same spot of everyone else around me, if not even better, because I didn't have any college debt or anything like that. So realize this, you have nothing to lose when you're at 0, so you need to take risks. The only logical thing you can do is take risks and take bets. All right, think of it 2 scenarios. The person who has nothing, they take no risks, so they're guaranteed to stay at nothing. Or the person who has nothing, so they take risks, so they have a probability, a chance of winning the game, of leveling up significantly compared to the other person. Obviously has a guaranteed nothing. All right, so you might as well, it's the logical thing to do to take bets when you're at nothing, because you actually have a chance of succeeding, of leveling up. So that's the first point. Second point, we're going to get very tactical with this, is when you're starting out, you want to be smart and basically minimize your personal living expenses. All right, it's there's no reason to be living and buying stupid things like living in a massive house or living in a super nice apartment. There's no reason to if you're broke, if you have if you're not making the money you want to make with your business. You need to go lean as possible. All right, so you should, if you're younger, you don't have a family, you can obviously get 3 roommates, get 4 roommates, or get your rent down to $500 a month, which is doable. You can actually do this. All right, you don't need your own apartment. You don't need something in luxury in the heart of downtown. You don't need it. It's stupid. Because all you need to actually grow your own business is what? You need a laptop and internet connection. That's it. All right, so if that's all you need, minimize your personal risk so you can actually allocate as many funds, money, and then time into the business as well. All right, get groceries from Walmart. All right, cut stupid crap expenses that you don't actually need. All right, stop being stupid. All right. Even applies to you. Obviously, if you have a family, you have people to take care of as well. You can still cut stupid expenses, or you can still downsize things. You can sell your fancy new car that you have a $1,000, $2,000 a month car payment, which is stupid. Cut the stupid crap. All right, go as lean as possible, because when you're as lean as possible, this again gives you the ability to take on more risk, gives you the ability to take more bets in the business and actually win. Because again, look at the scenarios. All right, if your ego is so big where you can't downsize, you have to have these stupid expenses that actually don't change anything that you actually need for your life. You're guaranteed to stay where you are. You're guaranteed. All right, so choose that path if you're comfortable staying where you are and you don't want to change. because that's your guaranteed outcome. If, however, you actually want to level up, you need to decrease risk. All right, decrease personal risk so that you can take more risk in the business. Like, it's an allocation of risk. Like, you can't magically come up with more. All right, so I mean, literally what I did when I was starting out, I was in college at the time, so I lived with my parents. So my expenses were literally as low as humanly possible. I didn't have to pay for rent. Only had to pay for like some groceries, but it was so minimal when I started out, and I was able to, at that point, when basically like living expenses, under $1,000 a month or whatever, get to the 10K a month mark. All right, so I stayed in that situation until about 10K a month, something around there, and then at that point, I got a 2-bedroom apartment for myself. So this was kind of splurging a little bit. It cost me like $1,600 a month. But even then, my living expenses were 3.5 to 4K. Like, I literally look back at these numbers, so these are like real. I'm just making stuff up. Obviously, things might be slightly more expensive today, but you can still, like, that was a 2-bedroom apartment for myself. Or I could have easily got an apartment with 3 other people, split rent, got rent down to like $500, $600 for myself. All right, so you can still live on like 4K today if you want to, like, easily. And so if your living expenses are that low, you can literally, like what I did as well. I did DoorDash when I was starting out, when I didn't have the money to pay for whatever I wanted, to pay for business investments and stuff. I'm gonna go over that in a second. But like, your living expenses, if you're single dude, should be like 3-4K a month. All right, if you actually are serious about growing the business, anything more is just stupid. Like, you're probably doing something unnecessary. All right, obviously if you have a family, it could be more. All right, but you can still minimize stupid expenses and do as much as you can do. Here's the last thing. Here's the biggest point, really. Like, this is probably like the biggest thing that helped me break through. Like, I was talking about, obviously 16 months for 6 months, I made $0 profit, 0. And so month 17, I took home, it's like $68.95. If I remember correctly, it was like that. So I made like $69 my first paycheck, which was insane. It was more money than I made the past 16 months. All right, so 17 months of work to make $69. If you want a similar outcome, I'm still listening to my advice. But jokes aside, the biggest thing I started doing is, wisely invest the rest of your funds. All right, so let's say if you're able to bring in, 5 or 6K a month, you're living off 3K. You have an extra 2-3K to invest. All right, where do you put it? Do you hire team members? Do you hire employees? Do you spend money on ads? No, not at all. Here's what you should do. All right, so when you're starting out, you probably have no skills. Like, you probably have no clue what you're doing. All right, if you're probably watching this video because you want to learn and you're trying to level up your skills, which is a good thing. But right now you have no clue what you're doing. You're just like a business noob. You have no clue what's going on. And so at this point, what you need to do is actually gain skills. All right, skills are the most important thing. If you have skills, like tomorrow, you can literally create a business that makes 10, 20, 30K a month if you have the right skills. Like, I can do that in my sleep because I have the skills now. And so there's like no realm of possibility, even if somehow this current business I have, or the other business I had, like, blew up magically overnight, I could just start a new one. I have the skills. Bada boom, bada bang, like, no problem. All right, so you need the skills. And so that's like the number one thing you need to allocate your extra funds into, is gaining skills. So this could be, obviously you can go the free route of using YouTube and stuff, and listening to podcasts and stuff. But honestly, like, the best route is going to be just investing in specific solutions for the current problems that you face. All right, so I've invested over $160,000 into business mentors, into business education and courses and programs and all this stuff. It's the highest ROI money I've ever spent in my life. So that's what I recommend you do. Definitely, obviously, like, be wise, do your due diligence before you invest into anyone or anything, because like, there are a lot of people who suck nowadays. They're not good at what they do. And so do your due diligence, like, make sure they're actually good at what they do. But this is all about gaining skill sets. All right, if you have the skills, like I said, like, it's the number one thing you need. You can't hire if you don't have the skills, because again, you don't know what to look for. You don't even know what to tell them to do. All right, you can't really spend money on paid ads. I mean, you could, but you're going to lose money because you don't know the copyright, you know how to film ads, you don't know the targeting and all this stuff, and media buying, and you don't know what to do. And so you need the skills. All right, so if you're trying to aim for a number for this one, I would like to aim, like, when you're at this point, aim for 50% plus your income to go towards the skills bucket. If you can swing that, obviously if it's 20, 30%, so be it, but as much as possible into this bucket, because it's the highest ROI thing you can do at this point. All right, investing in stocks or even Bitcoin or anything like that, it's not going to move the needle as much as skills are. Because again, like, if your goal is to be financially free, you need cash flow. Like, cash is king. Cash is number one. And so you need to get to the point where you have the earning potential to earn easily 20, 30, 50K a month. When you have that, everything changes. And when you have that, you can do anything. All right. So I started actually allocating towards that bucket when I was at like month 14 or 15. somewhere around there. And so that's obviously at month 17, it took home like $69. So obviously a huge breakthrough, but I believe I think it was 9 months after the 16-month mark. So quick math, like 25 months in. That's when I took home my first 10K a month mark, like take home profit. So about 9-10 months after I actually started investing into skill sets, when I hit that 10K a month mark, which is pretty quick, pretty substantially quick if you think about it. That's what happened for me, and I just continue to accelerate that pattern. So obviously, if I was making 10K a month, 50K a month, I would just allocate more and more towards the skills bucket, because that's the quickest thing to accelerate my earning potential, grow the business. So that's exactly what I did, and that's just what's helped. So these are the core things if you're launching a business, like the things that you really need to know, you really need to do, because it's all about decisions and managing risk. And that's really all businesses at the end of the day is your decisions that you make and the decisions around risk that you make specifically. All right, because it does not matter. Like, you could obviously watch a more tactical video of like, here's the ad copy, here's blah, 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 do this, here's how you structure your offer. And I have videos like that, of course. But this is like, if you just make these macro decisions, like, it's extraordinarily hard, probably impossible to fail. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone ever, if they do this exactly, fail. Like, you can't. Like, over a long enough time horizon, you will win. If you simply invest in the skills, you get the skills, like it's just cause and effect. It's inputs and outputs. So if you have the skills, like, you can generate the money that you want. It's inputs and outputs. It's cause and effect. There's no luck to it. There's no magic. It's simply skills. All right, business is the same thing as anything else of, playing the piano or ice skating or whatever you want. It's just a skill. It's just practice. It's just gain the skill and then applying the skill, and you'll get the output. So that's the video. Hope this is helpful. If you are an online coach, you want to scale your business and work with you one-on-one and grow your skills, go ahead, click the link below. We have an amazing, pretty cool program. It's pretty good. It's all my life's work, by the way. So click the link if you're interested. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.